If you forget a glass dish on a hot burner for long enough, it will explode. Parenting books don't remind you to turn off the burner, tuck in your boob when the mailman knocks, or that for each challenge mastered, you'll inherit a new onslaught. When the glass hits the floor, I yell, "Fuck." Another failure to add to today's list. Here I am, a 43-year-old divorcee with 3 master's degrees, wiping glass and peanut noodles from the floors. I was supposed to be on Oprah discussing my great American novel, the one I've been editing for 7 years in between in vitro fertilization, diaper changing, and divorce. My 4-year-old boys stand in the doorway, Aiden head to toe in orange like a construction worker, and Quinn in his favorite high waters, 3 inches too short and 3 days thick with maple syrup, dried prunes, and sour milk. Don't move, I say, echoing the sharpness of my New York City "don't fuck with me" mother's voice. A sea of glass lies between their bare feet and my sanity. Having spent my childhood ducking insults and my adulthood trying to erase the memory of them, I vowed to be different, more Mrs. Brady meets Mother Teresa. The yoga and meditation are awash in the face of the peanut noodle debacle. Dinner was the last card in a fragile tower that I've been holding together all day. Only an hour before, I had returned to my post-divorce rental to a surprise note from the landlord's wife, who doubled as cleaning lady and home inspector. The floors are covered by wall-to-wall beige carpet, the perfect canvas for dysregulated twin boys. In no time, it was a Jackson Pollock retrospective. Last time it was steam cleaned, Quinn hurled an egg across the room and watched it puddle into a small lake. "But Mama," he said, "I didn't know it wasn't cooked." The landlady complained about the dirty dishes that rise like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Neighbors were reporting on me like communist spies. Pamela's sons vault off the beds. Their soccer ball is killing our camellia tree. Mr. Smith threatened to speak to the homeowners board about my inability to comprehend condo living. I wondered if he had complained before or after I had rung his doorbell, asking him to help extract the stray toothpick that had skewered its way through the ball of my left foot. It was the remnant of a toothpick sword fight. I had calculated that calling 911 after the boys were already in bed would have destroyed hours of labor spent wrestling them into pajamas. "Mama's fine," I'd peeped, leaving a trail of blood across the carpet. I thought about how I'd have reacted had I not had 2 small witnesses. Motherhood had made me realize my own power and sometimes my best self. I had been so terrified about my capacity to be a good enough mother, but the drudgery, that came as a surprise. No one says you're going to have to scrub the floors and your home will become a 24-hour laundromat. No one prepares you for the resentment that builds when your children don't notice that you are starving, tired, sick, and still you go on like Sisyphus. The salvageable noodles have grown cold, the forks need washing, and there is not a vegetable in sight. A year ago, we'd have been holding hands around the table in our old home, 4 of us, saying what we were grateful for, the results of a Berkeley study on gratitude. I sweep the broken glass into the dustbin, wipe the last shards with a wet paper towel, and tell the boys to come eat. "Let's say grateful," I offer. Quinn aims his little finger at me and says, "Here's my gun. Bam, bam. I'm gonna break your heart." I take a deep breath. I know you miss Papa. There is so much I do not say. The sound of chewing replaces the riot. A silver roach steals toward my foot. My inability to keep house has attracted a host of lower life forms. I yank the dimetaceous earth from beneath the counter and sprinkle poison around the room, trying to calculate how to kill the roaches without also killing my children. My mother spoke about housewives, the way one would speak about prison inmates. She was a workaholic who slept in her stilettos and smelled like Chanel No. 5. I had wanted to be that glamorous, that important, that brave. But my mother wore stilettos because she didn't climb jungle gyms. She wasn't sleep deprived because she didn't wake at 4 a.m. She had nannies for that. I don't have nannies anymore because I can't afford them. But I climb jungle gyms because I want to be there when my sons reach the top. Or if they fall, I want to be the one to catch them. My mother had the crazy courage of an edgy journalist, the kind that took her into war zones and brought her back with tales of glory. I know now that mothering takes a different kind of courage. The courage to put your child's fever ahead of your own rest. The courage to stay home when you'd rather go out. The courage to say you're sorry when you screw up. The courage to remember that once they are safely slipped into their rocket pajamas, your sons will lean their honey-scented heads against your shoulders, and with their bodies warm and heavy against your chest, each of them will say, in his own way, "Mama, I love you all the way up to the solar system and past the whole wide world. And everything that you gave or gave up or have yet to give will be forgotten as you are left with a moment of perfect gratitude, at least until the next tantrum hits."